different residences, 3 different ones a week. Cause I deserve that. It's time to learn.
Today, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, it's a special Friday edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Straight ahead is a rematch from last year's NFC wildcard round between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now getting set here and leading them out in what could be his final NFL season. The game's all-time leading passer, that's Drew Brees.
Okay, just to make sure I'm clear, you have not voted for NFL MVP yet, correct?
I have not. I always wait till the end. I always wait till the end.
I do the exact same thing, but let's just be honest here. Does he still have a shot? Here we are, week 16.
Yeah.
He's in the race, but is he really there?
Yeah, I think he needs a little help. It's fringe. Don't you agree?
I agree. I think he needs a lot of help. People have to play poorly down the stretch around him in terms of the other people who are the candidates, and he needs to be absolutely beyond spectacular. I think it's going to be really, really tough. But you know something? Being his team MVP, that's not such a bad thing, is it?
No, and he has been great for this team, no doubt about it. 8 quarters to prove himself. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 21 carries, 94 yards, and a score. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
You turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is in for a score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Saints have taken the early lead.
I'd have to say we're all a little bit surprised there because at his age, with his speed, or should I say lack thereof, the only rushing touchdowns I would expect are on quarterback sneaks. But here, he found all of his guys covered, and he said, why not? And by the way, if that doesn't fire up your team to see the veteran like that risking his body for the touchdown, I don't know what will.
So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Cameron Jordan racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Oh, big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Breeze now on 1st down. Incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. From midfield, here's Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line. Shotgun now for Breeze. Toward the right side at a 3rd and 2. Again. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Makes the score Saints 10.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend of the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spot, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the number one team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. On the carry, it's Cook. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. On the ground, it's Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now we're first and 10 at the 11. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Brees. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Johnson on the return. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
That's good for 28 yards.
And the Vikings first down.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And the Vikings are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. A 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Justin Jefferson, the rookie, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal.
3rd down and goal from the 10-yard line.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is going to be incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and the Saints will have the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, an even 90 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. That's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
On play action, they'll throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make. Absolutely. Takes two to tango. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll drop to throw. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The Vikings going to signal timeouts as they'll head to next. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
Dan Bailey lining up.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again here, the Saints and Drew Brees march out there again on offense. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to... Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
On the return, Johnson.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on the offensive side, Randall Cobb works his way back onto the field. He's done his part, but so far it's been a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches in production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
And so far, he's north of 100 yards receiving. Lets it fly for Thielen. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brees. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
And 10 yards to go.
A final shot before half for Brees. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sport. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem, let's do it. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And this carries into the end zone. And the half will begin with a touchback.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run. Cook. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw him starting to scramble, my thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there, and in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Breeze. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Got an open man finding Jefferson.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Rolling to his right. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
Man, I've seen that play.
Adam Thielen, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Showed some of his improv skills there, getting flushed out of the pocket but still able to make the throw for the score.
So that means he's not a method actor? No. Because with the improv,
Dan Bailey lining up for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
35.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offensive.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Breeze. Incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
From the gun, it's Breeze. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And his throw here's incomplete. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Again, it's Breeze. And that's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the play. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it.
And you can see, as many of you already know, they have clinched the NFC South. But as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
And that's a good thing for them, because coming out of your division, getting to the playoffs with an opportunity to host to start the playoffs, that's a pretty good way to get things going. Whoever came out of this division, we knew that they were going to be playoff ready, and this team certainly is.
To throw again on second down. Breeze. And a catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And it's incomplete. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Breeze to throw again. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And now a throw on first. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Breeze now on 1st down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Breeze going to throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete. But if sooner, it may have been a fumble. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he's going to get this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. And look at this, Drew Brees down. Remember, he missed 5 games last year. He's slow to get up here. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Now it's the backup Winston. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Jameis again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
To the air again with Winston. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
4th down, Winston. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw again. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
17.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
From the gun, Winston gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's a loss that could wind up hurting a little as they fall now to 11-4. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.